Hey, Lauren, Aggressive Credit Repair. Sharing a credit tip with you. I want to talk about the different scores that you see at different websites. People ask me, it's one of the most common questions, what's the real score? Well, there is no real score. There's a lot of different scores out there. All scores are derived from, made from, created from the data from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And then and those guys don't really make scoring algorithms. They do, but they're not used. The scoring algorithms that you see out there, most commonly FICO. And then there's a competitor, an up-and-coming competitor called Vantage 3.0. Vantage 3.0 has one scoring model. FICO has a bunch. And even I, somebody that's been doing this for 20 years, doesn't know exactly how many they have. I've heard it's like 28, and I'll explain what that means here in a second. But let's just start with what Experian says at their website. How many are there? And on this website, it says that there's 16 distinct different ones. Well, there's actually more because there's different versions of each. Okay, so FICO used to probably just have one scoring model when it started, but then mortgage industry wanted their own, and the credit card industry wanted their own algorithm for judging people's credit and scores, and same with auto loan industry. And today there's a ton of them. Okay, so the point of this video is not just to educate you on all the different FICO versions and what Vantage 3.0 is, but also to kind of point out the significance of the scoring model when you go to a specific website. So let's get rid of this screen and go to I've prepared a little Word document, and I have gone to a variety of different websites that I use for my personal credit. And I want to show you what scoring model they use for each one. Okay, so you got to look at, when you're looking at your credit, you got to look at two things: what bureau is being pulled and what scoring model they're using. That way you know what to expect when you go down the street to get credit at your local auto dealer or mortgage company. So probably the most widely used credit website to look at your credit and scores is Credit Karma. Why? Because it's free. People always say, oh, Lauren, I know it's inaccurate, but I look at that anyways. It's not inaccurate. It's actually, I'm surprised it's free. It's a good little website. And they use Credit Vantage 3.0 for scores. Okay. Credit Karma only uses Equifax and TransUnion, and they use Vantage 3.0 scores, which is stated right there. And there's my scores last time I checked. It only goes to 850, so those are good scores. I better be. I own a credit repair company for 17 years. So they don't use Experian. Experian kind of flies solo with these things. And so if you go to Experian's website, which I'll show you because I've got an example of that below. So let's scroll below, go to the next website that's most commonly used for my purposes. When clients sign up for my program, they want to use Credit Karma because it's free, but I always have them go to this website, Identityiq.com. And why do I send them there? It's a good price. It's $20, and it's a easy to understand user interface and the easy to understand scoring system because they use Vantage 3.0, which is they only have one scoring system. And in my opinion, you could argue that it's basically a mishmash of all the 16 or 28 different FICO scoring models, how many of those there are. They just have one. It makes it more simple, and it's very consistent with a lot of the FICO scoring models. So here's my scores there. Same as up here, except they were kind of on different days, hence the score change. I had got a new card, which is really rare for me. Pardon that noise. But I got a new card, and it kind of dropped my points a little bit. Good lesson on Alloa. If you haven't seen one of my Alloa videos, average length of open accounts, you should check one out. So that's Identityiq.com. They use Vantage 3.0. My own personal bank likes to pull FICO 9. Now there's actually a FICO 10, so there's a brand new FICO version. And what's the difference between 8, 9, and 10? And I don't know. It's maybe like, what's the difference between iPhone 10 and 11? And it's, slightly enhanced, but really just a method to sell another phone, So I'm not sure that this is any better than the previous ones, but it's pretty popular. At least my bank uses it. Now, this is only used for Experian, and it says it right here. And something I wanted to point out in this video is when you're looking at your score, you want to look at two things. Look at your what bureau they're pulling. In this case, it's Experian. And what scoring model they're using. In this case, it's FICO 9. Oops, put that twice. Okay, then I went directly to each bureau to pull my credit. Except TransUnion, because they charged a bunch of money. We'll get to that in a second. You can sign it for free and get a score for free at Equifax and Experian. It's pretty cool, but they try to sell you on everything once you get there. They want you to sign up for all three bureaus' scores and reports, and I get emails every day ever since signing up for this one a little bit ago. I had this originally, Equifax.com, back when they had the breach and they were going to pay everybody a bunch of money. That's an upcoming video I'm going to do. Where's the money? And that never came. These guys get away with anyways. And then I'd canceled that subscription because I think Equifax sucks. Their website sucks. Their scoring, I'm not a fan of it. But I re-enrolled for the purpose of this video, and you can see I have an 819, and they are using also Vantage 3.0, and you can see that it's notated right there, okay? And then in order to see all three reports and scores from there, I have to pay for something, which I didn't do. Experian. Definitely the most popular of the three bureaus when people go to pull up their own reports. Why? And it's by virtue of the Experian Boost. Experian Boost is very popular. It's the most impressive marketing strategy that any of the credit bureaus have ever done. But I also made a video on this. Experian Boost is not super helpful, okay? It doesn't help you get to 800. It's because they don't include an opening date on the payment history, which I won't get into the nuances of that, but it's not super helpful. It's not harmful, but not super helpful. Anyways, I did it just to show my customers if it was helpful or not. And here you can see, hey, my score dropped a little bit because I added that new card. Not always helpful to add new lines of credit. But they use FICO 9, just like my bank. Oh, whoops. I made a typo there. I was going to say, I don't remember them using I thought they used FICO 8, and I'm right, they do, FICO 8 right there. I must have copied and pasted that 9 from above. But yeah, they use the FICO 8. So just to recap, Equifax uses Vantage 3.0. America First uses FICO 9. There's America First again. Identityiq uses Vantage 3.0, and so does Credit Karma. Let's see if I've got any more listed on here. TransUnion, not free, so I didn't buy it. And I thought I did. It's because they try to charge me a bunch of money. It's like $26. I'm like, are you crazy? And I don't know why they're selling that. Why wouldn't they give us a free one and then ask us to buy? But hey, whatever. Anyways, I'm pretty sure they use the Vantage 3.0 as well. I'm almost certain because I'm almost positive. I won't go into why, but I'm almost positive for their scores when they offer a product to you, it's the Vantage score as well. And that's just an example of all these different places. Oh, here's another one I threw on here. By virtue of my Capital One card, I get a free service with CreditWise. Well, CreditWise pulls up a single score through Vantage 3.0. I forget what bureau they use. I'm calculated by using TransUnion. Look at that. I missed. Okay, so CreditWise uses, and a lot of you probably have Capital One cards. They use the 3.0 system. So people always say, well, Credit Karma is not a real score because they use Vantage 3.0. Well, as you can see, a lot of people use Vantage 3.0. So they're up and coming. FICO likes to advertise that they're used in 90% of lending decisions. I don't think that's true anymore. I think that they made it when they made it, so they can advertise it that way. But I'm thinking that Vantage 3.0 is going to be a much more aggressive in their growth, and we'll probably see them more. But nevertheless, whether you're looking at your scores through Vantage 3.0 or FICO, they're all important. You want to keep a pulse and eye on all of them. So I recommend doing that. Okay. I like Identityiq for all 3 reports and scores for Vantage 3.0. I like myfico.com. It's the most expensive of all the websites, like $40. There you can see all the different versions of FICO. Or hopefully you have a free membership over at one of the websites like Experian, where you can get a FICO 8 score through them. Sorry, was that 8 or 9? Experian uses FICO 8, okay. All right, so this concludes my video. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.